All right, friends, it's T-Man, and I'm gonna do a brand new video. I've been wanting to do a video on this guy for such a long time, and I figured, you know what? I just saw this one pop up, and I figured, you know what? I'm gonna do a video on this right now. So I'm gonna do a reaction video to the religion slaves, the religious slaves here, especially this religious fake slave. His name is Cliffe or something. I can't remember his name right now. Sorry, Cliffe. I don't know the last name. Cliffe versus Skeptic student debating God, free will, and suffering. That's a good one. He's gonna debate Skeptic student debating God, free will, and suffering. Interesting. Okay.
Do you believe that all of these things, the suffering that we experience as human beings on this earth, is due to man's fallibility, our capacity for sin, and our separation from God?
Yes, according to the Bible, or this called religious belief, or this fake belief, is that you were born with sin. It's so sinful for you. You were born out of sin. You're evil. You're automatically evil. You're born out of sin, and this guy came and he died for your sins because you're a sinful person, and now you're free to go. But wait a second, I thought they baptized you, and then you're baptized, and now the original sin is gone. This is the most hokey shit I've ever heard in my entire life. As far as the suffering part, what he's talking about, we'll get to the suffering part. You're suffering because of everything that you're doing that is unnatural in this unnatural environment, the city that you live in. Get it? This, what I would call material world, because the material things that you're gathering, you don't need them in nature. You don't need the dollies. You don't need the paper money. You don't need anything in nature. When the colonists arrived to what you call the New World, America, North America, Mexico, Central, South America, whatever. Let's just say Canada, United States, which is now these countries. When they met these people that were already here, indigenous people, well, they didn't pay taxes. They didn't have any money. They didn't have any cars. They didn't have anything. And they lived pretty freely off the land, stress-free and disease-free and stress-free. They ate roaming animals. That's what they did. They didn't break the laws of nature. See what I mean? They did not break the laws of nature. They were not suffering. But the colonists were suffering from diseases and a bunch of stuff because they were on the path of breaking the laws of nature. Yeah, get it? And they carried disease with them, and they're diseased and sick, and man, they're really convoluted people. They're mentally ill and mentally sick. I can imagine these poor indigenous people when they came up against white men. If these fucking people are mentally ill, they drink poison to make their head dizzy. They do dope. They do a bunch of weird shit. They eat poisonous foods. They're farmers. What the hell's going on here? To make their lives very, very suffering. To suffer. They're slaves. They've enslaved themselves to the material world. Yes.
Partially.
Okay.
I think Eugene O'Neill put it very well when he wrote, "We're all born broken.
Okay.
Life is about healing."
I love this one. We're all born broken. Well, if you're born in this artificial environment, yes, we're born broken. Want to know why? Because we've been fed a slave diet, go to a slave school like a prison. When you get out, it's either a rat race, whether you have to do the labor work or go sit on your tush. But you're still, either way, you're getting paid a slave wage, and then you go to your slave store to eat your slave food. Your life is really just one big suffering. It's just you're suffering. You don't even realize it. You think all these things that you have, they're great things, but you're suffering, and you're destroying nature, and you're breaking the laws of nature. So many laws, it's incredible. That's why you're suffering, losing your teeth, your health, your hair, your body, your sanity, and everything else. That's why people are suffering. They're even losing their sex. They don't even know what sex they are.
Grace of God is the glue.
So would it be fair to say then that at least some of our suffering
Yes?
is due to man's free?
Listen to what he says. Our suffering. They keep idealizing on suffering. We are suffering. You are suffering. Let me ask this question. How many people are suffering out in nature when they're out there? There's no taxes. There's no jobs. There's nothing. There's nothing out there. There's no slavery. There's nothing out in nature. There's just you, animals, nature, and you hunt, you eat food, and that's it. Are you suffering? No, not really. Are you losing your teeth? No. Are you losing your sanity, your health? No. See what I mean? People love to suffer. They want to keep consistently suffer. They want to pay somebody money to go to a gym. You want to pay a guy to lift his weights in his gym, his metal in the man-made metal in a gym, to lose energy. You want to exhaust your energy there so you could suffer and then go eat fake food because you're hungry now. You eat a bunch of fake food. You go to your job, even your physical job, physically lifting weights, doing this, eating all these weird things, just suffering nonstop, complaining about women, dating, money, jobs, constantly paying bills, suffering, not sure if you can pay the rent or make the mortgage or make your payments or whatever. It's never ending. It's never ending. Getting along with family members, a whole bunch of stuff. Never fighting with cops, going to the pimple popper, going to see doctors. It's just never ending. Medicine, health food stores. The suffering never ends, bro. It all stems from slavery and eating a slave diet. That's where it all begins. Yep.
Yes.
Do you think it's good that God has granted us free will in this life?
What if heaven isn't what you think? In this heated
God has granted you free will. Nature, you have free will when you're in nature. You do not have free will in the artificial world that you're trapped in, this matrix called the city. They've enslaved you here. Yes, there's no free will. Well, some people will say they're much more freer in other countries than other countries. I don't know. Are they really? I say, well, look at me. I'm in China. I'm a lot more freer here than you guys are in North America. I can drink beer in the street. Wow. They can drink beer in the street. They're so free. They can do this and they can do that. Well, I don't know where I am. You can buy marijuana now. Are you free? You're free to buy marijuana. Okay. Does that make your life better? Free will. See what I mean? But you don't have access to every kind of drug if you want. If there's some drug you want to buy at the pharmacy, you don't have access to everything. You're not really free. You can drink beer here in the park now, according to the government, but you're not really free. You have to pay taxes, right? You always have to fill out your tax form. You have to pay taxes constantly. Are you free? No, they've enslaved you.
exchange, Pastor Cliffe faces off with a skeptic student who challenges everything from the literal truth of Adam and Eve to the idea of free will in the afterlife. Is suffering God's fault or ours? Is heaven a place of freedom or just eternal worship? Pastor Cliffe delivers hard-hitting answers, revealing the surprising
Worship and suffering, yes.
depth of solid Christian belief in the face of tough questions. Brace
Remember, belief is not based on fact, so it's fake.
yourself for a conversation that will challenge your perspective on faith, love, and what it means to truly.
Faith doesn't exist, neither do these books. None of these things exist in nature. Nothing of this sort exists in nature. You should not be looking for faith. You should not be doing anything. You should not be even thinking about these things. And if you're praying and trying to change the future, trying to change the outcome of something is really like black magic when you're praying and asking for a house, a car, or change the outcome of, I really want this woman. I'm praying you to God because I want this woman. That is like black magic. You're trying to overturn something. You are trying to change the outcome, bro. This is crazy. This is black magic.
Follow and trust God. Don't miss this eye-opening discussion.
I do trust.
दोस्तों अगर आप अपने स्मार्टफोन के
Discussion. Watch now.
Do you believe
I do trust nature, which is my God. My God is more powerful than Cliffe's God. You want to know why? Because if you break my God's laws, you're going to suffer. That's why all of these people are suffering, because they're following an evil God, a fake God, which they created because it's evil. Because how could you be born with sin? They say you're a sinful person. You're born with sin. You're evil. We have to wash this evil away. Being born a human is not evil. I don't know where they came up with this concept, because the God that they worship, this so-called God, is a being. And God is not a being. God is everything, everywhere and everything. It's nature. It is this universe, it's nature, it's everything. And you are a part of God, which is nature and everything. You are made up of God. Your body is made up of what they say stardust. What they mean is you're made up of the environment, of this everything. See what I mean? What is your the meaning to be here on this planet? What is your thing to be here? To procreate and create more DNA. That's what. It's kind of obvious. It's obvious. We're built to procreate and make more DNA. Kids. These are your senses. You only have senses and reality. Reality tells me this. Religion's not based on these religious thing, whatever they're talking about. It's not based on reality. You have to base everything on reality. So they base everything on beliefs and not facts, on reality, should I say. They do not base things on reality. They base it on these fake things that they have concocted. They have created fake things.
That the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, do you believe that is to be taken literally? So in other words,
Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. There's no Adam and Eve, and there's no Garden of Eden. There's no churches. They don't exist. They're manipulated, created by men. They don't exist in nature. They only exist in man's fabricated fantasy world. Get it? When you see cops or judges wearing costumes walking around, they're acting. They're faking. All these people, their positions, their power, whatever they're doing, working as a clerk in a store, they're all acting. They've all been set up as actors. And there's somebody behind there laughing at everybody, going, look at these minions. Look at these slaves. We have them all acting. We're all running the show. It's like a puppet show. You've become a puppet.
do you believe that Adam and Eve, if we had that they were historical people, the Garden of Eden was a historical place? Do you believe those things?
It could have been a message maybe somebody wrote, who knows, a long time ago. I'm not really sure. For all I know, religion could have just came out, when did they create this Bible thing? Well, 500 years ago, they say I don't know, in Italy, right? I don't know. Maybe it came out 100 years ago, 200, or whenever it came out, 500 years ago, let's just say, and it continued on from there. See what I mean? When did religion really come out? 500 years ago. Oh, okay. That's when it really appeared. Christianity, when did it appear in Europe? 500 years ago. Okay. I come in the name of God. You kill in the name of God. What kind of God is this? An evil God. See what I mean? Nature would never come and kill you. You don't have to say, I came in the name of nature to kill all of you. But there are things that people do out in nature. I don't know. I can't tell you. Morals do not exist in nature. So when it comes to human beings being out in nature, I don't know. If you're asking me about evolution, there's no evolution. You're domesticated. And when they talk about these Neanderthals, if you're asking me, and this is really based, maybe it's just a thing in my head. They say there were these Neanderthals. Well, we may be those Neanderthals, but we never evolved. We were always the way we were, humans. And the only difference now is that we're domesticated because we're eating fake food. Fake food domesticates you, like a boar becoming a pig. Get it? And then when he goes back into nature, he becomes a boar. So what would we look like if we went into nature? Probably these Neanderthals. Now, if you take a Neanderthal and bring him into the city and feed him these fake foods, he becomes what? What we call what? Modern man. Get it? Yeah. See what I mean? You have to see it for what it truly is.
Or do you believe that those are metaphorical?
I personally believe that Adam and Eve were real historical people.
Okay. Do you believe that?
I like when he says believe. See, he didn't say I base it on fact that they were real people. He has a belief, which is fake. He has got a belief. It's fake. See?
All of these things, the suffering that we experience as human beings on this earth, is due to man's fallibility, our capacity for sin, and our separation.
We're all suffering for our capacity to sin. Yes, I would say if you break the laws of nature, you're sinning. So if you eat fake food and engineered food and fake food, and you're not eating your natural food, you as a carnivore are not eating natural food, then you're going to face the wrath of nature. You're going to suffer. It is a sin to break the laws of nature, which is God. Okay.
God.
Partially.
Okay.
I think Eugene O'Neill put it very well when he wrote, we're all born broken.
Okay.
Life is about healing. The grace.
I love this. He's fabricating that. We're all born broken, and life is about healing. So we're born broken, and why would we be born broken? We're born perfectly normal as human beings, but we're fed a slave diet, which is breaking us. Get it? And now we have to seek healing all the time because we're sick because we're breaking the laws of nature, which is really God. He's just got it backwards, this Cliffe guy, this religious crazy cult leader.
To God is the glue.
So would it be fair to say that
God is the glue. God is the glue. He talks like God is like it's a dude up in the sky somewhere.
that at least some of our suffering
Yes.
is due to man's free will?
Yes.
See, a lot of our suffering is due to man's free will. No, our suffering is due to man breaking the laws of nature. Look, they even show you a picture of a lady here in a hospital bed. Do you think you'd be in a hospital bed in nature? No, because you wouldn't be breaking the laws of nature. You'd be perfectly fine. When they exhume these so-called Neanderthals, which I believe, again, I'm going to use this word belief. I don't like to use that. Okay, I believe that these Neanderthals are us, and we've become domesticated. So when they find their jawbones or whatever, they have all their teeth. Now, when people are exhumed now in this world, they have no teeth, or their teeth are all busted or whatever, or drilled or whatever. You understand me? And they usually die of some hideous disease. In the end, they just die of something, failure of something. And it's not a natural death, because the doctor had said, I don't know anybody that had died a natural death. I think she said that their parts were worn out. That's why they died. Oh my God. That's a doctor.
Do you think it's good that God has granted us free will in this life?
Because
It's good that God has granted us free will. No, you have free will. You can call it in nature. You have free will. You have free anything in nature. There are no morals, do not exist out in nature. There is nobody enforcing anything or rights. You don't need rights. You don't need anything in nature. See what I mean?
the only way you and I can love is by exercising our free will. Yes, I'm very grateful that God created us with a free will.
The only way we could love is exercise our free will? No, love is an emotion. You can't feel it, touch it, or see it. You understand me? These are all just emotions. I don't know what he's talking about, man. He's really insane, this guy, dude.
I'm not sure it's necessarily fair.
Okay?
I mean, the description, the interpretation of the Christian afterlife, which I think a lot of us have, is one in which we live in eternal praise of the omnipotence of God. Is that
The eternal praise of the omnipotent God. I love this kid's funny, man. He's going to challenge Cliffe. Cliffe is going to make up stuff, and he'll just constantly try to defend with more fake beliefs, his belief in this fake religion, this fake imaginary thing. I don't know why. Maybe it's just easier for him to do than work. Maybe he prefers to go in the street and do this on YouTube because it beats working, that's for sure, in a factory for a slave wage.
Is that really free will? And doesn't that sort of have a contradiction to the idea of what's good about God letting us suffer in the way we have in this life? I mean, Christopher Hitchens...
Again, with the suffering, we are always suffering in this life. Why are we suffering in this life? Why are we suffering? Why are we suffering? I know people that are going to their slave job, and there you go. They're like, I'm suffering. You are suffering. Because you're not really meant to work all those hours slaving at these crazy factory jobs or construction jobs or whatever you're doing there physically. And then, you get the easy jobs too, but they're still messed up, man. You're pretty much in a prison. If you're working in an office job, I mean, you're stuck in a prison more than half the day, and then you're stuck in traffic trying to get home to your slave wife and your slave kids that you developed eating a slave diet on your slave wage. Get it? That you went to school, your slave school, to get that job, to be in prison there in the sky. I once talked to a lawyer, and I said, how do you enjoy being there in your slave job? And he goes, what? I go, you're a slave. Even though I looked up your income, I said to him, I looked up your income at City Hall and it says you make 160 now, finally. 160,000. That's not a lot. I mean, to imprison yourself in an office more than half the day. You know what I mean? Sitting there. Are you happy being in there? I go, man, I lived in Mexico for 10 years, more than 10 years. And I go, in those 10 years, I probably lived those 10 years more than you lived in your entire lifetime. I go, you've been in prison. Plus, what about going home in that rat race? You have to get in your car and go home, come back to work. I mean, there's very little time you spend with your kids or your family. You have to work on the weekend because he's a lawyer. He has to do, extra work at home. Never has really time to himself to enjoy life. He's just busy doing, he's imprisoned, bro. It's just crazy. This is suffering, yes. That they are going to say it's not suffering. They are suffering. Inside, they can feel it. They're all suffering. All these slaves are. Everybody is. If you enslave yourself to a gym, because that's what I do on my channel, talk about lifting and whatever, but it really is people enslaving themselves to these man-made things, which is crazy, because nothing really matters in this world. Nothing that you do, I'll explain this. Nothing that you do matters. Nothing. The only thing I could tell you that will matter is that your DNA is carried on. That's it. When you depart this planet. That's it.
Follow the notion of the Christian notion of the afterlife, a celestial North Korea, in which we
I love this one. The celestial afterlife. There's no afterlife. If you don't know what was, how do you know what will be? Well, it's kind of obvious. Your senses already tell you. When you die, you know in the back of your mind. When you die, you're dead. Your energy gets reabsorbed. It gets reabsorbed by what? By the universe. The universe recycles and reabsorbs energy. When you type God in the search engine of Google, what does it tell you? Energy can't be created and energy can't be destroyed. Exactly. Even Google knows.
we all live in eternal praise. Everything is to the state and is in praise of the state of North Korea. If you want,
You should not be worrying about any of these things, about religion, about these things, about any of these things. What you should be doing is living a natural life, which these people are not. And that's why they have to keep complaining about suffering.
see the opera, it's all in praise of Kim Il Sung and the dictatorship there. All the arts, all the music, everything is in all the media that you could consume over the radio and so on and so forth. It's all in praise of the dictatorship. I think the idea that we have of heaven is very similar. That to me doesn't sound like a very pleasant
And he doesn't live in a dictatorship. He doesn't realize where he is, this slave.
place. I mean, I very much like the idea of having free will, of being able to choose who I like, who I don't like.
Yeah.
I think.
Does he have free will? I pretty much like to choose who I like to like and this and that. Okay. I choose not to pay taxes. I choose not to make money. I choose not to do any of these things. I want to chase animals around in the city and just hunt and eat and hang out with my friends and go swimming in the river here in the city and do a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to pay rent. I don't want to live in an apartment. I want to make my own little thing and whatever. Well, there are some people out there. They don't really understand what these people are doing, why they want to live out in the street free. They're like, well, I made a little house out of a box and, they're living outside and they're enjoying themselves. They can't understand. They say, well, these people are homeless. They live outside. Are they homeless? I don't know. They created these little shacks. They're not paying rent. They're sitting out there, right? They're doing something. Are they free? I would say that they're free to an extent. You know what I mean? Not totally, because the city's really not nature, because it's man-made. But whatever, man. You get the point.
It doesn't sound like being forced to do that and being almost like a slave labor, even if it's one that doesn't have.
Look, he right out of the horse's mouth. Slave labor sounds like slave labor. Even if the one that doesn't involve a lot of warships sounds like slave labor. Yes, okay, warships.
A lot of whips. It doesn't seem like a very pleasant idea.
Whips? Did he say whips? Oh my God. Doesn't seem like a very pleasant idea to me at all. Okay, whips.
To me at all.
All right, well, the answer to that I think is real simple. If you, sir, think that I obey Jesus today because he's whipping me,
Yeah.
you're wrong. If you think that I obey
that,
Jesus
though.
today because I don't want to go to hell, you're wrong. If you think I obey Jesus today because he's got a carrot out in front of my nose saying, hey, buddy, if you behave well, you'll go to heaven, and if you don't behave well, you don't get the carrot, you're wrong. I obey Jesus because I am convinced he's wiser than I am.
No, he obeys Jesus because he likes to suffer. He doesn't want to obey nature, which he's not. That's why he's suffering. So that's why he keeps talking about this Jesus dude, and the Bible and everything else. It's all made up. See what I mean? They're going to tell you how to live properly in this enslaved world. This Jesus guy, it's a book how to control people and tell them how to live in this world, in the artificial world. That is not based on the natural world in nature. Get it? See what I mean? The laws of nature aren't the laws of man's laws, what he creates and tells you how to live in the fabricated world. That is not the God that you're seeking. You're seeking an evil God because he's trying to keep you imprisoned here, telling you how you should conduct your business in the fake world. You know what I mean? Everything that they wrote, whatever he's doing there, I don't know anybody. You cannot break the laws of nature. You cannot walk on water. You cannot heal people. No human can walk on water, heal people, or fly in the air like they're going up into the clouds, okay? If you break those laws of nature, you'll fall through the water, all right? And if you're doing some weird voodoo magic, trying to change the outcome of something, that is voodoo magic. Black magic, that's evil. And you're trying to pretend that you're filling these baskets up with fish and wine, which is, again, magic tricks. They're using magic tricks or whatever they're doing there. That could be just written in as fake. You're breaking the laws of nature, and nowhere in nature can you get a basket and then fill it up with fish. Magically, they're going to appear, or fill up these bottles of wine for some party or whatever, like Jesus did, this so-called Jesus character, or he touched these people who have like what is it? Leprosy. That can be contractual. He could catch it himself. So I don't know why he would touch anybody with it. Okay, so he's gonna touch them, and they magically got healed. Yeah, okay. He magically broke he broke the laws of nature by doing these things. No such thing. It's fake. It's fake.
Eternal God who created the universe. You would be stupid for.
He does not. This Jesus character does not follow the laws of nature, because everywhere in the Bible he's breaking the laws of nature. He's also drinking wine and eating bread, and bread goes against the laws of nature. If he truly is God, why would he get you to eat bread, which is the cause of everything that you're ailing from, and drinking wine, which is poison, and the bread, which is poison, and everything else that he was doing there, poisoning your mind? So none of that makes sense to me. See what I mean? And he's limiting you. He's trying to give you morals. What morals? Morals don't exist in nature.
And unwise of me not to obey him, because he understands better than I do what is.
Yes, it's more wise to obey him, right? And do these things so you can suffer, but you don't want to obey nature. Oh, I get it. So you don't want to obey nature. You want to break the laws of nature and obey them through this so-called God figure that you created. That's crazy.
Good, what is evil, what is the purpose of a human life?
What is good? What is evil? There is no good. There is no evil. There's just nature. And there's no morals out there. Just look at the other animals, how they behave. How do they behave out in nature? They're territorial, they're this, they're that. They kill other animals for no reason, just to get rid of them, sweep them aside. And they kill to eat and a bunch of things. They roam around all day in nature. There's no jobs, there's no money, there's no work, there's nothing for them. Everything is being supplied in nature. The problem with humans, they want to destroy nature, and they're doing it at an astronomically high rate. They're destroying nature. They put their garbage out there, they create garbage, pollution, garbage. That's how much they respect God. They want to destroy God, which is nature. And I don't know any God that would want you to destroy your environment, destroy him. See what I mean? So you must be following the God of material. A fake God, an evil God, would only do this. And who is running it? Well, there's these people behind the curtain running that, making you believe that this evil God is a good God. See what I mean? Maybe it's Alibaba Express, or maybe it's Amazon, for all I know. Who the hell knows? With the packages going everywhere with the little arrow.
Secondly, I obey Jesus because I am convinced he loves me more than my own wife, who loves me.
He's convinced that Jesus loves him more than his own life. Your mom loves you more than anything. It's unconditional love, and you should love your parents unconditionally. I don't know what he's talking about. In nature, this Jesus character doesn't exist. There's nobody to... He loves some fictitious character. Don't you love your parents? Don't you love your siblings? That's why you want to be with family all the time. You want to be close to family. But we're all fucked up because of this whole environment. Families against even, they've got you going against each other. That's the whole point. Chaos. That's the whole point. If you read the First Testament, this First Testament of this so-called crazy religious belief, the First Testament says that the chosen ones shall destroy the earth and cause chaos upon everyone, and destroy these cultures, these other people, and they shall reign supreme in the end. It's in fruition. It's in fruition. Get it?
Incredibly. And so therefore, I obey Jesus because he loves me, not because he's...
How do you know he loves you? If he loved you, why would he want you to eat bread and wine and destroy yourself? See what I mean? Why would he want you to do any of these things? And let me get this straight. He died on the cross for your sins? What sins? He said, we're born with original sin. So he died on the cross because you're born with original sin, but you haven't done anything yet. That's like accusing somebody of a crime. They haven't done anything yet. What are you talking about? That absolutely makes zero sense whatsoever. Not because he's playing a carrot game with me. A carrot. He's not dangling a carrot with me. I just love him because not because he's dangling a carrot in front of my face. He is. He is. These people are.
Playing a carrot game with me. Hey, come on, buddy. Live this way, and you get the carrot. He's not doing that. He really loves me for who.
No, he doesn't. He wants you to live the way they say in the Bible. Be a sucker and a slave. That's the whole point, to sucker you and enslave you. They want you to follow a particular way. You don't need to follow that way. Just be natural in nature. Follow nature. You don't need to follow anybody. What are you talking about?
I am, in spite of my flipping him off.
Right, but I think you're
Flipping who off? He makes excuses for this character about everything when people question him.
a couple of things. I never implied, I don't believe I implied anyway, that the reasons why you love God, that you love Jesus Christ, are because there's sort of some sort of impetus that's less than positive. I don't think I implied that. I believe that
No, why does he believe so wholeheartedly in a book? He believes in words and in a book. See what I mean? Wholeheartedly, this Cliffe character. And he wants to brainwash and condition other people to come into this cult, this belief, this religious belief. The more we collect, the better for our side than the other side. That's why there's so many religions out there. They even fight against each other. They say, well, my religion is better than your fake religion. And the other religion says, no, my fake religion is better than your fake religion. And they even killed over religions. They do really crazy stuff in the name of who? In the name of God, killing people, torturing, whipping. Wow, sacrificing. They just done everything in the book, these people, these unnatural humans. It's crazy. These so-called brainwashed humans, yes.
you see a goodness in the
Domesticated humans.
idea of Jesus that's
Sir,
very
you
real.
brought North Korea into the equation. I didn't bring it in.
No, but
You expect me to listen to your analogy with North Korea and basically having to pay obedience.
we're talking about your belief system, though.
Yeah,
Your
my belief system is God is good. And because God is good,
Yeah, that's a belief system. If you believe in something, you make it real. Here's the thing. You believe in something, it becomes real to you. That's how you fabricate something real. These people say, he says dictatorship. Okay, they got a leader in North Korea. They call him a dictator. He's there. On all the people that are there, this one guy has all the power. Well, that must mean that government is God, because what happened with religion was it switched. It changed into a government, and your government is God because government makes all the decisions for you, like a God would do for you, like what you think in your mind is. In nature, it doesn't make decisions. There's no decisions for it to make for you. You understand me? Because you're free out in nature to do what you want. But you will, if you break the laws of nature, you'll pay. If you jump off a cliff, you'll die. And get it? If you try to walk on water, you'll fall, you'll drown. A bunch of things like that. If you eat fake food, then you'll suffer the wrath of nature. You'll lose your teeth, your health, and your sanity.
it's very wise for me to live life His way. And God is love. And because
It's very wise for him to live the way Jesus Christ did. It's absolutely unwise to live the way somebody told you how to live. Okay? No, man, whatever.
God is love, it is very smart of me to live
He's not love. He's not love. Because if he was love, he would tell you to go into nature. Why didn't he tell you to go into nature, go back to nature?
life His way.
No, I never said that you were forced in this life to love God. I never said there was sort of that God would punish you in this life if you didn't love Him. I said
And what did you say?
I said that.
Yeah, if you don't love nature, it will punish you in this life. Yes, and you're getting punished. Yes.
You have the free will in this life.
I mean, the majority of people are ugly like this guy. They're all ugly. Cliffe, these kids are ugly. Look at their faces and their body. They're all ugly. And the women are looking at them like, pfft. And these women are ugly too. There's very few people that are good looking still in this world. It's probably a carryover genetically, but the rest, their genetics are completely becoming epigenetic destroyed. They're domesticated because they're eating these plants and they're destroying their looks and their physical and their looks and everything else in their health.
But that's taken away from you in the afterlife.
No! I'm going to have free will in the afterlife.
Again, they'll be taken away from you from the afterlife. There's no afterlife. There's only you being consumed. Your energy is being consumed. It can be consumed many ways. Going to the gym can consume your energy nonstop. There are like crazy people that want to give their energy away. That's what's shortening your lifespan. Every time you give your energy away to things, you shorten your lifespan. You get a shorter lifespan. That's why when these guys said, oh, these guys came from the ark, they were still walking around from the ark, they lived 600 years. This Abraham character goes, hey, I'm dying at 175. You guys are still here from the ark. What's the secret? Well, the secret is really simple. Don't give your energy away to anything. Don't give your energy away and you'll live long. The majority of people that I know that live really long, some people here, I know a lady, she's 96 years old. She doesn't allow her energy to be consumed because she does very little work. She doesn't work at all. The mayor in I think it was a city next door called Mississauga. The mayor there, she retired, I don't know, 97 years old or something. She lived through well over 100. Yeah. What did she do? Nothing. She didn't allow her energy to be consumed. She worked as a mayor there for many decades or something. I don't know, for a long time. So she did like office stuff. You know what I mean? She did office stuff where they weren't consuming her energy. Now, your energy gets consumed when you do physical things like a slave. That's why slaves don't live very long. Their lifespans are cut very, 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 very short. Does the Bible tell you that? No. They were like, what's the secret? What's the secret to your longevity? It's really simple. Do not break the laws of nature, eat natural food, and do not allow anybody to consume your energy. Conserve as much energy as you can. That's why you get these guys, they tell you to that no fap is based on keeping the energy in you, and then not having sex and not whatever. You get the point, man. Fooling around with themselves and whatever, playing with themselves, and losing energy. Yeah, and they tell you sometimes have sex, but don't have an orgasm to keep the energy in you. If you let go of the orgasm, she'll eat your energy or whatever. You get the point, okay?
Afterlife?
That doesn't really strike me as the common conception of the Christian afterlife, in which you live in eternal praise of God. You don't have.
That sounds really kooky. That almost sounds mentally retarded, but okay, whatever. That sounds crazy.
You don't seem to have a choice, and so then would you? I guess to phrase it another way, if you were to say in heaven, I no longer believe in God, would you then go to hell? Would you be excommunicated from heaven?
No. If you're in heaven, if you're living in the presence of God, and you have been saved, meaning by that you have realized the horrors of rebellion against God, you've put your faith in Christ, you're beginning to grapple with the depth of his love for you.
Look at this guy. He's just like, they are consuming the energy from each other. This is what enslavement is. Enslavement is to consume your energy, make you work, and then they don't have to work and they live long and a good life. But the only difference between them is their energy is being consumed a different way by eating a fake diet, a lot of people that are out there. And so that's why they're so messed up. But you get the point.
You're not going to want to sin. Right now, I dabble with the irrational. Did God
You're not going to want to sin. You're not sinning. There's no such thing as sin.
create me to be fascinated by the irrational? No. He created
But like I said, if you want to say that there's sin, then okay, you're breaking the laws of nature. You're sinning against the laws of nature when you're breaking it.
me to celebrate the rational. Part of sin is I dabble with the irrational. And that's sad.
So we are created irrational.
All right, Cliff, what is irrational? Please tell me. And that's so we are created irrational, and that's that. So we are created irrational. No, we're not. We're created as human beings. We're not created to do any of these things or act or do any of these weird jobs or do any of these weird things. Our job on this planet is to procreate and create more DNA and die. Get it? That's all.
We're created rational,
Perfected in heaven.
but part of our rebellion.
Why does there have to be more? Because you want it? You expect it? Well, unfortunately, too bad. That's how it works.
Against God is to learn to celebrate the irrational.
So we will be perfected in heaven. Then is what you're saying.
Well, it's real simple. I want to be like
You are perfection as long as you adhere to the laws of nature. You are exceptionally perfect. You are perfect.
Jesus, and I'm not. But in heaven,
He wants to be like Jesus, but he's not. So he wants to be artificial like like this Jesus character, but he's not. He is. He's doing exact same stuff that this Jesus guy did. Eating bread, drinking wine. doing a bunch of weird stuff and brainwashing people into fake beliefs to live in this artificial environment, to keep you enslaved in this environment through religion.
God's going to give me the strength to really be like Jesus. And I can hardly wait.
So this God character is going to give them the strength to be just like Jesus. Oh, yeah, I've heard it all. Okay.
Because at times I'm mean, at times I lose my temper with snotty-nosed university students. Not you, but others. So,
Yeah, I want to know why he loses it with these kids, because they refute what he says because they don't believe in this garbage. And they refute him. So he's like, oh, I get upset with these naughty kids. Of course, he has to call them names, right? He's another human calling other human names. This is the indoctrination. You were been indoctrinated into this. It wasn't a choice. You were indoctrinated when you were born. You were indoctrinated into this crap. He too is probably a brainwashed slave too. What do I know?
I am not a perfect moral specimen, okay? And
You are a perfect moral specimen. That's how you were created, through nature. Nature is perfect. Nature doesn't make mistakes.
hate it. When I was speaking at Brown University, this Ivy League student comes walking down the path
He is absolutely wrong.
saying, oh, here's another one of them narrow-minded, bigoted Christians telling us we all need to believe in Jesus. Well, I just ripped into the guy. I said, you know something? Talk about narrow-minded. You haven't listened to a word I've said. You stereotype me. You are a bigot. And it got worse from there. Remarkably, the guy sat right down in the crowd. And about 5 minutes later, I had to look him in the face and say, my man, I'm really sorry. I denigrated you. I was mean. Would you please forgive me? So that's me.
Why? Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to do that? So that's me. I'm the weird mixture of God and evil. Oh, man. You wouldn't be doing any of that in nature. You wouldn't need to. See what I mean? That's why he has to be so apologetic. He says that's evil the way I'm acting. Listen to the word acting. That's what he's doing, acting. That's what everybody's doing here. All these people hanging around here, look at them. They're all actors. Even they try to dress a certain way like other people and keep acting.
I'm this weird mixture of good and evil.
Look at the way Cliffe is dressed, the way he's like dressed up and everything. He's just acting the part. He's acting a part. If he was dressed like a bum or anything, would anybody listen to him?
Evil. At times I do good, at other times I do evil. But in heaven, Christ is going to...
Well, he should come there dressed as a bum and see what the people tell him. Start praising this whole thing about God and everything. I saw this guy on I think it was a train or something one time. It was a white dude. It was a regular white dude, and he was dressed in this getup. He made himself look like he was a Muslim. To him, Muslim means you have to wear the costume of Muslim. Otherwise, nobody would know that you're Muslim. So he grew this beard thing, hair. He wore this toque, and he wore this white gown. And he was walking around with a book. Okay. I love the acting, man.
Give me the power not to do the evil that I hate. But I still do it at times. So I'm one weird dude. You are talking to a weird dude. We're all...
You're talking to a weird dude, but we do it sometimes. You are talking to a very, I guess, broken individual. That's what he calls it, right? We are all broken. Life is about healing. Man, I just love this saying is ridiculous. This is fucked, man. These people are fucked.
Born broken. Life is about healing. The grace of God is the glue that brings the healing about. But we are born broken.
Yeah, we're all broken. He's the glue. We are all born broken. You are not born broken. You were indoctrinated. The first thing when you were born, there was a human being waiting for you on the outside, ready. The old saying is a sucker's born every minute. Why do they say that? Rich people say a sucker born every minute because you've been enslaved. You've been indoctrinated because they were first and you're last.
Broken. And if you don't think...
My mom once taught me the first one is the winner. Let's say a fight breaks out. The first one to hit is the winner. The last one, he's not the winner. Or when people call the police, the first one is the winner. They come and question you. You didn't call the police right away.
You're born broken. All right. I am born broken. And guess what?
Or the first one to buy that property or that house or whatever. You weren't there. You didn't buy it. They were first. They beat you to it. Yeah. Or whatever.
All of my children were born broken, and all of my friends are born broken. But if you're not born broken, you're really a privileged person.
As the
Yeah, I consider myself not born broken, but I definitely was born indoctrinated and born into a slave family. But I wouldn't consider myself broken, but they tried to break me. Yeah, they definitely tried to, your parents. That doesn't mean I don't love them or anything. I just understand that it's not their fault. They've been enslaved.
Conversation reaches its peak, Pastor Cliffe skillfully dismantles the skeptic's challenges, presenting a profound and unwavering defense of the Christian faith. Through his thoughtful reasoning, he sheds light on the true nature of free will, suffering, and the afterlife.
Which all do not exist. They're all fabricated and fake. There's no proof of an afterlife, and they're fake. And as far as you're suffering, it's because you're committing a sin against nature. You're sinning against nature when you're not, when you're breaking the laws of nature. It's really simple, man. All these things, what they say, these are not hard to answer.
Revealing the depth and richness of the Christian faith, grounded in
I love that word faith. You have faith in something that doesn't exist. Wow, that's incredible.
love and wisdom. This exchange ultimately invites us into a deeper relationship with God through Jesus.
A deeper relationship with this phony God through Jesus. You're praying to the wrong God. Your God is out in nature. You should revere him and take care of nature. It's not even a him. Whatever.
Encouraging us to seek understanding and connection with the divine. By the end,
Yes, understanding and connection with the divine. How do you know it's not the devil that you're connecting with? Hello, I got the wrong line here. 911?
it's clear that Cliffe's answers not only hold weight, but leave a lasting impact.
Yeah, the God that he prays to is the God, the material God, which is a phony, fake God, bro. Get it? Yeah, man. I don't know what else to say there. Like, share, and subscribe, yes. But leave a lasting impact. I love that. It'll leave a lasting impact. It definitely does, these fake beliefs.
The truth of God's grace and the power of faith stand firm, inviting us all
Definitely standing firm, I guess, for these people that are indoctrinated, yes, brainwashed.
to deeper reflection and understanding.
If you found this discussion enlightening, what should we do?
Found this discussion enlightening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Of course, because you need to spread more of this brainwashing and conditioning people to bring them into the faith. Get it? And more pain and more suffering. Yes. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends. This was very interesting.